Hey guys, it's Emma here, and I have my recent reads favourite read for March. I can't believe it's April already, and I probably say that every month, so let's just get into it. I've got my Goodreads app here, so let's just get into what I read in March. So the first things I've read a couple of books on the Kindle Unlimited subscription that I've got, and that was continuing the Blue Skin book series that I started reading about, like a vampire one. So I read Blue Skin Book 3 and Blue Skin Book 4. And then another one of my partner's comics, this was Chew the Smorgasbord Edition Volume 2, so I read the first one the month before. And then back in to finish off that vampire series on Kindle Unlimited, I read Blue Skin Book 5. The next thing I read was actually lent to me by my dad. It was something I bought him for Christmas, I think it was. Like a true crime book. So it's Manhunt the Night Stalker, How I Brought Serial Predator Delroy Grant to Justice. And the next thing I read was another one of my partner's comics. Again, it was Chew, the Smorgasbord Edition, this time volume 3, so it means it was a bit bigger. And then another one of his comics, Stray Dogs. And then I read another one of his comics, and it was Black Widow Volume 1. And then one of my books from my, I'm assuming, sci-fi fantasy box of stories was Hunger Makes the Wolf. And then back to another one of his comics, it's called Hard Time, the Complete Series. Then more from my box of stories box. I was trying to get through a bunch because I realised I hadn't read. I had like all the boxes from October still sitting. So I read another one from the sci-fi fantasy one called The Heart of the Circle. And then I think this was maybe the last one in the sci-fi fantasy box from Box of Stories, Every Sky a Grave. Then another big omnibus for my partner, Once and Future Book 1 Deluxe Edition. And then I tried a manga that I had bought him, I think for like Christmas, Splatoon Volume 1, so it's like based on the Splatoon game for the Nintendo. Wii U, whichever version you're playing on. And then I did a reread of one of my own books that I wanted to try again just to see how I felt about it, if I want to keep it or not. And that's Alien, the original screenplay. So that's like a hardback book of it was the last thing that Dark Horse actually put out that was Alien. It was their last Alien book, and it's basically the original screenplay for the movie Alien, and just instead of changing it to the movie it became, they've made a comic of the original screenplay, so it's different names and things like that. But I wanted to read that before I read the next thing I read, which was the first Marvel book since they've moved from Dark Horse over to Marvel. I wanted to read the last Dark Horse book again and read the first Marvel one. So that was Alien Volume 1 Bloodlines. So this was the last of my Box of Stories books. So for the sci-fi fantasy box, so this is The Secrets of Drearcliff Grange School. So again, I read loads, like always. So I think it was tricky this month because again, there was quite a few really good books. I really liked that True Crime Manhunt one that my dad lent me. I really liked the new Alien book, which was awesome because if you know anything about me, you know that I don't always like the comics. I'm more of the novels that I like to read for the Alien franchise, so that was great. I really enjoyed that. I'm really looking forward to the next one, but it's not coming out till August or September or something, so I'm not happy about that because I really want it now. But yeah, I went through everything I read, and I think the one I'm going to have to pick, the one that I loved the most and was just a great fun to read, was just a great experience of reading it, is Stray Dogs, and that is by Tony Flex. And it's the writer, and Trish Forstner is the illustrator. So this is just one volume. I think it's like five or six issues, and it's basically, and it does say that on the cover as well, it's basically Silence of the Lambs with all dogs go to heaven, put them together, you get Stray Dogs. So for any like horror people out there, it is really fun to read. It's great. There's some twists and turns and things like that, but basically it's about a group of dogs in this guy's house, so it's all from the dog's point of view, so most of the time you don't see anyone's faces either. Kind of like I think Tom and Jerry used to do that in the cartoons. You didn't see the humans, you just saw their legs. It's basically like that for most of the time, if not pretty much the whole comic. And there's just something not quite right about where they live, and they don't necessarily know what's going on or know anything's wrong, some of them, but there's like a new dog in the house that kind of figures something's not quite right. And they chaos ensues, basically. I don't want to give anything away, but it's a great book. I definitely recommend it for people who read comics. If you don't read comics, I think I would probably recommend the Manhunt book, because I just really enjoyed it. I mean, it's gruesome, it's graphic, it can be upsetting to read, depending on your disposition, but it was just so interesting, and I didn't know anything about that case. Obviously, I know about like the Night Stalker from the US, Ramirez, so it was kind of confusing that this person was also called the Night Stalker, but I really enjoyed that book, so that would probably be the one. If you don't like comics, that would probably be the one I would recommend for you. But yeah, if you do read comics, definitely give Stray Dogs a go. It's so good. The issues are coming out now for the next book, so I don't know when the next volume will be, but I saw some of them the other day in a comic shop, and they've got like classic horror movies, their take on them. So there was like a Dracula one and their cover, and there was oh god, I can't remember what the other one was, but they looked really cool. I was really excited. So hopefully they'll be in the volume and they'll just be the chapter pages. Because I think that's what happened with this one. They were the single issue covers were in the chapters, so that's great. So I can just get it in that, because I don't read single issues. But yeah, I would recommend that because I just loved it. I just thought it was such a great read, especially for someone like me who loves horror. But it's like drawn in like a cute, cartoony kind of way almost. I really liked the artwork. It was gorgeous. But yeah, that is my recommendation for March. So that is it for this one, guys. Any comments, pop them down below. Share it with your friends, give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you next time, guys. Bye!